Wash these 7 body parts daily to live a longer life. Have you ever had one of those mornings where you wake up and something just feels off? You're not in pain, not exactly sick, but you feel drained, sluggish, like your energy got left behind, somewhere in the middle of the night. Well, if you're over 60, chances are you've felt that way more than once. And I used to think that was just part of getting older, you know? Like, this is just how things go now. But then I had a little chat with my old friend Helen. She's 74, lives out in a quiet little town in Minnesota. We were catching up after a community potluck. We both reached for the same piece of lemon pie, and we started laughing. Anyway, I couldn't help but notice how bright she seemed. Her skin had that healthy glow. She was sharp, smiling, full of life. So I asked her, "Helen, seriously, what's your secret?" She laughed and said, "Oh, honey, it's not vitamins or fancy creams. I just started really taking care of my body. The parts most people forget about." That got me curious. "What parts?" I asked, and she said, "You know, my tongue, my feet, my armpits, little spots we all think we clean, but don't really give enough attention." Turns out, Helen had been to a senior wellness class at her local recreation center. And what she learned there surprised her. Simple, everyday habits that could actually boost your immune system, help you sleep better, and even feel younger. She started paying more attention. Not more time, necessarily, but more care. And within just a couple weeks, she said her digestion improved, her breath got fresher, and this one made me smile. Her morning coffee started tasting amazing again. And that's when it hit me. Sometimes, the difference between feeling old and feeling well isn't about age at all. It's about awareness. It's about giving your body a little more kindness in the places you never thought twice about. So today, I want to share that with you. 7 parts of the body, small, often overlooked spots, that deserve a little more love. And the best part? These habits are simple, gentle, they won't cost you a dime, and they could help you live longer, sleep better, and feel so much more alive. Sound good? Great. Let's start with the one place that might just be affecting your heart, your breath, and your immune system. Your tongue. We brush our teeth every day, morning and night, sometimes even after lunch if we're feeling fancy. But here's something most folks never think about. Your tongue. Yep, that pink, squishy muscle in your mouth that helps you talk, taste, and chew. It's not just along for the ride. It's actually one of the dirtiest places in the human body. In fact, scientists have found that the tongue can host over 700 different species of bacteria at any given time. Some are helpful, sure, but a whole lot of them are the kind that cause trouble. Now, why does that matter? Well, for starters, when you don't clean your tongue properly, those bacteria don't just stay put. They can slip through tiny cuts in your gums or under inflamed tissue and enter your bloodstream. And once they're in there, they can spark all kinds of inflammation. We're talking heart disease, diabetes complications, even respiratory infections, especially in older adults whose immune systems are already working overtime. It's kind of like letting mold grow in your air conditioner. You don't see it, but you sure start to feel it in the air. Now let me tell you about Linda, a 67-year-old grandmother from Arizona. She told me that food just didn't taste the same anymore. For years, she thought her taste buds were just fading with age. But then, she tried cleaning her tongue every morning, and within 2 weeks, she was shocked. Coffee tasted rich again. Apples were crisp and sweet. Her dentist even noticed less plaque and healthier gums at her next checkup. And then there's Theodore, 71, retired high school teacher. This man brushed, flossed, rinsed, everything. But still, bad breath. He tried every mint on the market. Still no luck. Finally, someone told him, "Try a tongue scraper." He laughed, but gave it a go. And after just 10 days, his breath cleared up. He said, "I stopped worrying about getting too close to people. I actually looked forward to speaking up again." Isn't that something? So, how do you do it right? It's easy. Just grab a tongue scraper. They cost a couple of bucks at any drugstore. Hold it gently near the back of your tongue and slowly pull it forward. Kind of like wiping a dusty countertop. Don't press too hard. You're not scrubbing the kitchen floor here. Do this 3 or 4 times. Rinse the scraper, and then rinse your mouth with water or an antibacterial mouthwash. Do it before breakfast to clear away overnight bacteria. And again before bed, nice and gentle. Takes less than 3 minutes and can make a huge difference. If you're new to it, you might feel a little gag reflex. Totally normal. Start from the middle and work your way back as you get used to it. Also, keep an eye out. If your tongue has persistent white patches, discoloration, or soreness, talk to your doctor. That could be a sign of something more serious, and it's always best to catch it early. At the end of the day, this small, simple act can help boost your immune system, restore your sense of taste, and yes, even freshen your breath in a way brushing alone just can't. It's one of those habits where you think, why didn't I start doing this years ago? All right, now that we've cleaned things up on the inside, let's move down a little to the foundation of your body. The 2 parts that carry you everywhere you go, your feet. And oh, do they have a story to tell? Let's talk about your feet. Ah, yes. Those 2 hard-working friends at the bottom of your body. They've been with you every step of the way, literally, for decades. But you know what's funny? They're also one of the most neglected parts of the body when it comes to daily care. We stand on them, walk miles on them, shove them into tight shoes, thick socks, and yet, most people barely give them more than a rinse in the shower. Especially as we age, this becomes a big deal. Why? Because your feet are your foundation. And when the foundation gets weak, everything above it starts to suffer. Think about it. Poor foot hygiene can lead to all kinds of problems. Fungal infections, nerve damage, swelling, balance issues. For folks with diabetes, it can even lead to ulcers, and in severe cases, amputations. Let that sink in for a second. Now let me tell you about Thomas. He's 73, a retired mechanic, and swore he took decent care of his feet. But for years, he dealt with this persistent itching and discoloration between his toes. Nothing painful, just annoying. He figured it was dry skin, or maybe his socks. But one day, he showed his doctor, and boom. It was a fungal infection, probably festering there for months. Turns out, he never dried between his toes. He'd step out of the shower, towel off, put on socks, and that little bit of moisture, perfect breeding ground for bacteria and fungus. Once he started properly washing, drying, and yes, even moisturizing his feet, the itching stopped, the infection cleared, and, get this, his balance actually improved. He said walking felt easier, his legs felt lighter, and for the first time in years, he trusted his own steps again. So, what should we be doing? First off, wash your feet daily. Not just let the soap run down. That doesn't count. Sit down if you need to. Use a soft cloth and warm water with mild soap. Gently scrub the tops, soles, and especially the spaces between your toes. That's where bacteria like to hide out, like dust between the blinds. You don't see it until it's built up. Then, and this part's important, dry them thoroughly. Use a soft towel, lift each toe, and gently pat dry. Don't rub too hard. You don't want to cause micro tears in the skin. And whatever you do, don't leave them damp. Think about it. Would you ever stack clean dishes while they're still wet? Of course not. You'd get mildew. Well, your toes work the same way. After drying, apply a bit of moisturizer to the tops and soles of your feet. This helps prevent cracks, dryness, and discomfort, especially in cold or dry climates. But here's the trick. Never put lotion between your toes. Too much moisture there? That's asking for trouble. And finally, do a quick foot check every day. It only takes 30 seconds. Look for any redness, swelling, cracks, or spots that weren't there yesterday. If you notice something strange, talk to your doctor sooner rather than later. Remember, your feet are more than just how you get somewhere. They're how you stay steady, stay independent. And trust me, when your feet feel good, the rest of you does too. All right, now that we've covered the foundation, let's move on to a spot that might surprise you. It's warm, tucked away, and most folks only think of it when they start to sweat. I'm talking about your armpits. And oh yeah, there's a lot going on under there. All right, let's take a little detour from the feet and head north to a spot most folks don't give much thought unless it starts to smell. Yep, I'm talking about your armpits. Now I know what you're thinking. Really? The armpits? Ah, but hear me out. There's more going on under there than you might expect. See, your armpits aren't just about sweat and deodorant. They're actually home to something incredibly important. A network of lymph nodes, tiny little filters that help your body remove toxins, fight infections, and keep your immune system strong. So when your armpits are clogged with sweat, bacteria, old deodorant, or dead skin, it's like blocking a natural drainage system. Your body struggles to flush things out. And over time, that backup can lead to irritation, inflammation, even swollen lymph nodes. Let me give you an example. Olivia, 65, retired school teacher. She'd dealt with red, itchy, bumpy skin under her arms for years. Tried every deodorant on the shelf. Switched soaps. Changed laundry detergent. Nothing worked. Finally, during a routine checkup, her nurse asked, "How are you cleaning your underarms?" And Olivia kind of paused and said, "Well, I guess I just soap them real quick and rinse." That was the problem. She wasn't really cleaning them, just passing over them. So she started doing it differently. She switched to a mild, fragrance-free soap. She began using a soft cloth, gently scrubbing in circular motions, then up and down, then side to side, just like polishing a piece of fine glass. She rinsed thoroughly until the water ran completely clear. And then, here's the key, she dried them properly. Not just a quick swipe with a towel, but a gentle pat dry with a clean, dedicated cloth. Sometimes she'd even let them air out a few seconds before putting anything on. And within days, those bumps and rashes that had plagued her for years, gone. She said, "I didn't realize how irritated my skin had been until it finally calmed down. I felt lighter, cleaner, more comfortable in my own skin." So, what can you do? Here's a quick underarm routine that takes maybe 2 minutes, tops. 1. Start in the shower with warm, not hot, water. This opens up the pores. 2. Use a gentle, unscented soap, nothing harsh or drying. 3. Take a soft washcloth or sponge and move in circles, then up and down, then side to side. 4. Rinse thoroughly. You shouldn't feel any soapy residue. 5. After the shower, pat dry carefully. Don't rub. And let the area breathe for a moment before putting on deodorant. Oh, and here's a little extra tip. If you've been using the same deodorant for decades, it might be time for a change. Try switching to one that's aluminum-free or formulated for sensitive skin. Sometimes it's not your skin that's the problem. It's the product sitting on top of it. And don't forget, this isn't just about staying fresh. Your armpits are part of your immune system's frontline defense. When they're clean, clear, and functioning properly, your body doesn't have to work as hard to keep you healthy. It's one of those places that seems small, but matters a whole lot more than we give it credit for. All right, we've talked about your breath, your balance, your immune filters. Now let's move on to something we do 20,000 times a day, but probably haven't thought about in years. It's time to take a deep breath and talk about your nose. All right, take a breath with me, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feels nice, doesn't it? Now imagine if every breath you took was just a little bit clearer, a little deeper, a little more refreshing. See? We take about 20,000 breaths every single day. But most of us never stop to think about the quality of those breaths. We just do it, automatically. It's easy to forget that your nose is actually doing a ton of work behind the scenes. Your nose isn't just a hole in your face. It's your body's natural air filter. It warms the air, moistens it, traps dust, pollen, allergens, and bacteria before they reach your lungs. But here's the thing. Just like any filter in your home, it needs to be cleaned. Otherwise, it gets clogged. And when it does, your whole system starts to suffer. You might notice things like a stuffy nose, snoring at night, waking up groggy or with a dry mouth, brain fog during the day, even more frequent respiratory infections. Let me tell you about James, 69, a retired construction worker. He worked around sawdust for years, and for the longest time, he figured his constant congestion was just part of aging. He told me, "I thought breathing through one nostril was just my new normal." But then he started rinsing his nose every morning with a saline spray. And after just a few days, he said it felt like someone had flipped a switch. He could breathe again. His sleep improved. He even felt more awake during the day. Then there's Bella, 76, a gardening enthusiast. She used to wake up every morning feeling like her head was full of cotton. Couldn't smell her roses. Always sounded a little congested. She started steaming her sinuses with a few drops of eucalyptus oil. And guess what? Not only could she breathe clearly again, she said her mood lifted too. So, what can you do? Here's a simple daily nose care routine anyone can do, especially helpful in allergy season or during dry weather. 1. Start your morning with a nasal rinse. You can splash warm water around your nostrils, or better yet, use a saline spray. It's like giving your nose a gentle shower, washing out dust and allergens that built up overnight. 2. Use a neti pot once or twice a week. It's a small teapot-shaped device that flushes saline through your nasal passages. Might feel weird at first, but once you try it, most folks say it's life-changing. 3. Try steam inhalation. Step into a warm shower or fill a bowl with hot water. Drape a towel over your head and inhale slowly. Add a few drops of peppermint or eucalyptus oil for that cooling, spa-like feeling. 5. Blow your nose the right way, gently, one nostril at a time. Blowing both hard at once can force mucus deeper into your sinuses and make things worse. 5. And don't forget moisture. As we get older, the skin inside our nose can dry out. Try dabbing a little coconut oil or vitamin E on the inside edges of your nostrils. Just a little goes a long way. The benefits? Clearer breathing, deeper, more restful sleep, less congestion during the day, more energy and mental clarity, even fewer allergy flare-ups. And remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about gentle, consistent care for the parts of your body that work quietly every day to keep you going. So the next time you take a breath, really take it in. Appreciate it, because when your nose is happy, your whole body feels better. All right, now let's move from the top of the body down to something a little less talked about. Something small, quiet, often forgotten. But trust me, this tiny spot can make a big difference in your overall hygiene. Yep, we're going to talk about your belly button. Now, let's talk about something a little unexpected. Your belly button. Yep, I said it. It might sound silly at first, but hang with me, because this tiny little spot, it matters more than you think. See, your belly button is like a small hidden pocket on your body. It's warm, dark, and often a little damp. Perfect conditions for bacteria, sweat, and dead skin to build up. And yet, most of us don't even think about cleaning it. We wash our face. We scrub our hands. We even lotion our elbows. But the belly button? It just kind of gets skipped over. Now here's the thing. That little spot can trap odor-causing bacteria. It can develop irritation, itching, and, in some cases, even fungal or bacterial infections, especially for folks with diabetes or weakened immune systems. What seems like just a little redness can turn into something more serious if left untreated. Let me tell you about Jane, 78 years old, retired librarian. She always took care of herself, neat, tidy, well put together. But for years, she noticed a faint, musty smell she just couldn't place. She tried switching soaps, changing detergents, even adjusting her diet. Nothing worked. Until one day, her daughter, who's a nurse, gently asked, "Mom, are you cleaning your belly button?" Jane blinked. "Well, no. Should I be?" She started gently cleaning it each night in the shower, drying it properly. And just like that, the smell was gone. Not only that, but she noticed the skin around her stomach felt smoother, less irritated, and a little healthier overall. So, what should you be doing? Here's a simple belly button routine to keep things fresh and trouble-free. 1. During your shower, take a soft washcloth or a cotton swab, dip it in warm water with a little mild soap, and gently clean inside your belly button. No scrubbing, just gentle circles. Think of it like wiping out a tiny teacup. 2. Rinse well, making sure no soap residue stays behind. Soap left in that little crevice can actually irritate the skin. 3. Dry it completely. Use a clean towel or even a cotton swab to make sure no moisture lingers. 4. If your skin tends to get dry, you can dab a small amount of coconut oil or aloe vera around the outside, but avoid putting anything thick directly inside the navel unless advised by your doctor. Oh, and if you ever notice discharge, pain, redness, or persistent itching down there, that's not something to ignore. Check with your doctor, especially if you have a history of piercings or skin conditions. Even something this small, this quiet, can become a signal your body uses to say, "Hey, something's not quite right." And here's the takeaway. Sometimes the things we overlook, they're the ones that make the biggest difference when we finally give them the attention they deserve. All right, we've talked about 5 parts of your body so far. All small, all simple to care for, but each one with a big impact on your overall health. Now, before we wrap up, there are 2 more places we can't forget. They touch everything, handle everything, and yet they don't always get the TLC they need. Yep, next up, we're talking about your hands and fingernails. And trust me, this one's more important than ever. Now let's talk about something you use all day, every day, your hands. They cook your meals, they fold laundry, they hold grandbabies, grip coffee mugs, steady your balance. Your hands are your connection to the world. But you know what else they are? A highway for germs. That's right. We touch doorknobs, light switches, mail, phones, public carts, pet fur, you name it. And yet, a lot of folks, especially as we age, don't give their hands and fingernails the deep clean they really need. Now, don't get me wrong. Most of us do wash our hands. But here's the truth. Most people don't wash long enough, or they miss key spots like the fingertips, under the nails, or between the fingers. And if you think that's no big deal, just know this. Studies show that the area under your fingernails can host more bacteria than a public toilet seat. Yeah, yikes, right? Let me tell you about Mr. Gerald, 72, a retired jazz musician. He always kept a neat appearance, hair combed, nails clipped. But he started getting little skin infections around his fingers, dry patches, some redness. Turns out, he was washing his palms, but not his nail beds. He said, "I never thought that the dirt under my nails could actually be making me sick." So here's what he changed. He started using a soft nail brush twice a week. He paid attention to washing between each finger, around his cuticles, and even the backs of his hands, not just the front. And instead of rushing through it, he followed the 20-second rule, humming "Happy Birthday" twice while he scrubbed. And wouldn't you know it, his skin cleared up. He stopped catching every little cold that went around the community center. And his wife said, "Your hands feel like silk again." So, what should you be doing? Here's a quick hand and nail care guide, especially important for older adults. 1. Wash your hands with soap and warm water for at least 20 seconds. Focus on your fingertips, under the nails, between your fingers, and the backs of your hands. 2. Keep your nails short and clean. Long nails trap more debris. Use a nail file to smooth rough edges and prevent snags. 3. Once or twice a week, use a soft nail brush. Gently clean underneath the nails. Don't dig deep or scrape. Just light brushing will do. 4. Moisturize after washing. Hands get dry fast, especially in colder months. Look for a gentle hand cream or even a touch of coconut oil. 5. And remember, watch for changes. If your nails become discolored, brittle, or thickened, it could be a sign of fungal infection or even a vitamin deficiency. When in doubt, bring it up with your doctor. Because here's the deal. Clean hands don't just prevent illness. They protect your gut health, your respiratory system, and even your heart, since bacteria from the hands can enter the body through the tiniest scratch. So the next time you wash your hands, slow down. Give those hands the care they deserve. They've carried your life story for years. All right. So far, we've gone from head to toe, literally. And you might be thinking, well, what else could there be? But there's one last area, one that often gets skipped, especially if you don't have much hair left, but still plays a huge role in how you feel every day. Let's finish strong with the scalp and the back of your neck, your body's quiet command center. Now, Let's finish where a lot of people never think to begin. Your scalp and the back of your neck. Yep, up top. That quiet little corner where your hair starts, or used to. And even if you're rocking the clean, shiny look these days, this spot still needs your attention. You see, your scalp is more than just a place for hair to grow. It's a living layer of skin, full of oil glands, blood vessels, and nerve endings. And just like the rest of your body, it sweats, it sheds, and it collects buildup over time. If you don't clean it properly, it can lead to itching, flaking or dry patches, oily buildup, and even blocked follicles, which can affect circulation and skin health. Now let's talk about Mr. Al, 74, retired Army vet. He's been shaving his head for years. Looks good too. But he always complained about this tight, itchy feeling at the back of his neck, especially during the summer. He thought it was just heat rash or maybe razor burn. But turns out he wasn't cleaning that area properly. He'd wash his face, scrub his arms, rinse off. But that little curve between the neck and shoulders, totally ignored. Once he started scrubbing gently behind the ears and across the scalp line with a soft washcloth, and using a mild shampoo, even just once or twice a week, boom, no more itch, no more tight scalp feeling. He said it felt like his head could breathe again. So, what can you do? Here's how to take care of this often overlooked zone. 1. Whether you have hair or not, clean your scalp with intention. If you still have hair, use a gentle shampoo and massage it into your scalp with your fingertips, not your nails. Make slow, circular motions. Think of it as giving yourself a mini scalp massage. 2. Rinse thoroughly. Shampoo residue can cause buildup and irritation. 3. Don't forget the back of your neck. Use warm water and a washcloth to clean behind the ears, under the hairline, and around the base of your neck. This area gets sweaty, especially in summer, and can trap bacteria fast. 4. Dry it well. After your shower, pat your scalp and neck dry gently, especially if you're prone to flaking or irritation. 5. Once a week, try a warm towel wrap. Soak a towel in warm water, wring it out, and lay it over your scalp and neck for a few minutes. It helps relax the skin and opens pores. Feels amazing. Whether it's dryness, itchiness, or just that heavy feeling after a long day, taking care of your scalp and neck can actually help you feel more awake, more relaxed, and even sleep better at night. Because remember, your scalp isn't just the top of your head. It's the top of your whole system. All right, we've made it. 7 body parts, all simple to care for, all too easy to ignore. But each one, when cleaned with care, can make a powerful difference in how you feel every single day. So let's take one last moment together and wrap this all up. Well, if you've made it this far, I just want to say thank you. You've taken time out of your day to learn, to reflect, and maybe even to rethink the way you care for this amazing body of yours. And that matters. It really does. Because here's the truth. You don't need to change your whole life overnight. You don't need to buy expensive products or spend hours in front of the mirror. What you do need is to pay attention to the quiet corners, the places that go unnoticed, the small routines that seem like they don't matter, but actually make all the difference. From your tongue to your feet, your underarms, your nose, your belly button, your hands, and even the back of your neck. These little spots are doing big work every single day to help you stay healthy, steady, and strong. And when you care for them with just a few mindful minutes a day, you're not just practicing good hygiene. You're telling your body, I'm still here. I still matter. I still want to feel good. Because no matter how many candles are on your birthday cake, you deserve to feel vibrant, clear, comfortable, and yes, alive. So let me ask you, which of these habits are you going to start with? Was there one that surprised you? Or maybe one you're already doing, but now understand even better? I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And if this video helped you in any way, if it made you smile, gave you an aha moment, or reminded you to treat yourself with a little more kindness, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. And share this with a friend, a sibling, a neighbor, someone who might need a gentle nudge to care for themselves again. Because the older we get, the more we realize that life isn't about doing more. It's about doing the right things, just a little more often. Take care of yourself. You've earned it. And I'll see you in the next one.